everyone, welcome to another episode of Oztober. So all my fall videos you guys said you're really liking, and that makes me so happy, but it's also a lot of pressure because I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm talking about topics that you're interested in and that our vlogs are good. So it's a lot of pressure, but I'm glad that you guys are really enjoying Oztober. For those of you that are new, hello, I'm Sam and I do an Oztober series every year. I love fall. Some say I'm the fall queen. I'm just kidding, nobody said that. A few people have said that. My last name is Ozcrow, Oztober, you get it, okay? So my dog is actually laying under that chair, so if you see something like come out, or she like is funny, she does like funny things, you're not seeing things. I don't have ghosts in my house. I've had people comment, they're like, girl, what's under your chair? And I'm like, it's my dog. Today's video is actually a spooky topic, and that is bad habits. I try every single year, and I'm not gonna say I try, I hate that word. I try, because there's no like oomph behind it. There's no definite, it's like I think I'm gonna try. So every year I do work on bad habits that I have that I wanna kick, and just really focusing on them and being aware that they're there and that I'm doing something to not have them anymore has really helped. So not obsessing over them, not beating myself up over them, but just trying to figure out, okay, these are the bad habits that I personally have, and these are what I want to work on that I don't want to bring into the new year. I know it's fall now, but soon it's going to be December, and then it's going to be the new year, and I'm so excited for 2020. I love the name, by the way. I think that as you get closer to the new year, you start just having all this pressure on yourself of New Year's resolutions and I have to do this, this, and that. And if you just start earlier, and I say this every year, but if you just start earlier, especially in the fall time when our schedules are a little bit more consistent, it's not summer vacation, it's not going on so many vacations and trips, it's a more consistent time, or at least it is for me. It's a good time to work on goals and really create that good foundation so that by the time we do get to December and January, you can really crush anything you want because you have this good routine. So yeah, today I thought I would share 3 habits that I think you should kick, break, don't do anymore for the fall. This is a really hard one, but number 1 is probably the hardest one that you're gonna do. The hardest habit to break is a scarcity mindset. The reason why this one is so hard is because it's a mind thing. Like, this is where mental strength comes into play. This is where the law of attraction comes into play. This is where sometimes you might have to filter out negative people or filter out negative thoughts. Start working on mental strength and really your inner self and self-confidence and all of that. It's the most challenging work that there is to do. It's hard, and there's things being thrown at you as you're working on it, and it tests you every single day. So for me, I really worked on myself for the past 4 years. I'm still doing it. I'm still learning to grow, but it's so funny because I'm such a different person. I'm the same person, but you know what I mean, the better version of myself than I was 4 or 5 years ago. When you stop having such a scarcity mindset or limited beliefs, you give yourself freedom. Like, you truly do. It helps so many different areas of your life. It's going to help with your positivity, and it's going to help with your career, and it's going to help with your friendships and just relationships in general. And it's one of the hardest things to let go of, because a lot of us that do have a scarcity mindset or believe that, and what I mean by a scarcity mindset is that you just don't believe, you genuinely don't believe there's enough to go around. You believe that, yes, some people can make a lot of money, but that won't happen to me because there's just like not enough. Or some people are gonna find the love of their life, but that won't happen to me because it doesn't happen to every single person, and there's just not enough love to go around. There's just not enough to go around. It's truly how you believe. You have that limited belief, and only so many businesses can succeed, so I'm not gonna start my business. So back to what I was saying, it's a hard one because a lot of times we have this scarcity mindset from the way we grew up, from our parents. So it's embedded in us since we were children, and just issues that we carry into adulthood, and different things can trigger it. So that's why I said that this is some of the most challenging work, is because you're digging back years ago and figuring out why do you have these feelings. And a lot of my friends that don't have scarcity mindsets are killing it. They're killing it at life. They're going after their dreams. They're going after their careers. They're just freeing themselves from these limited beliefs. And I know that it's taken me a bit, but I've been able to do it. And so I think that if I could do it, and I think if my fiance Jared could do it, because he grew up with like an extreme scarcity mindset. And when we met, it was very obvious. And so I shared what I knew, and then he kind of shared things, and we sort of helped each other through it. Even though it might be challenging work or it might be a hard habit to give up, I think that if you're aware of it and you know that you're doing it, that's the first step. You can admit to yourself, okay, actually I do think like that. I do believe that there's only so much to go around, and I don't think that there's enough for everybody, and this and that. If you can truly admit that to yourself or admit that out loud, I already think that you're like 50% of the way there, because a lot of people are living like this and can't even admit that they're doing it. But if you can admit it, that's awesome. I'm proud of you. I'm here for you. And that brings us to the next part. So there's a few different things you can do to help yourself and get out of that way of thinking. And one of them is you have to stop comparing yourself to people. So you have to stop saying, and I always share stuff like this on my Instagram story. So if you're not following me there, follow me there. Some days I'll just like pick up my phone. I'll be like, hey guys, today's a day we're not going to compare ourselves to others. Like I love this conversation because I really don't compare myself to anybody. I did in the past, and now that I don't, I just like feel so good. Like I'm just free. So that's the first thing. Stop comparing yourself to other people, because that will steal your joy. And when it steals your joy, that's when we get down on ourselves. And it's like, think of it like a whole thought process. It's like, I'm happy, I wake up, I see what other people have, I get mad, I'm now angry, and now that leads to I don't like myself, I don't like what I have, I'm not grateful, I'm not gonna eat healthy, I'm not gonna work out, I'm not gonna do anything. So see how it kind of leads to like the whole like, I don't know, that may have been really dramatic, but that's just an example. The other thing you need to do is be okay with the unknown. When I'm trying to use the law of attraction or trying to manifest something, I am very okay with the unknown, and I know if I do these steps, I'm gonna get there. And it's just worked for me, just knowing that it'll happen. And when you're not okay with the unknown, you start saying things like, what if it doesn't? And then that's what you're speaking into existence, and then guess what? It doesn't happen. And it's not because you just said it. It's not because you said, oh, I'm not gonna have this in the future. It's because you start to do actions based on that belief. So you say, oh, I'm never gonna get fit. So then you don't go to the gym. And then you say, and eating healthy is like way too hard for me. So then you stop eating healthy. So your first thought from the beginning, I'm gonna keep gaining weight, ends up being true in the future because you start taking actions based on what you're saying. So you have to remember that what you're saying, what you're speaking into existence is fuel for your brain. So if you say something, know that your body's gonna take action towards that. So if you say things like, I'm gonna work really hard, I'm gonna get that promotion, and everything's gonna be all good. You know, and you can use this example for anything. You can say, like, someone could say, I'll never get out of debt. And then guess what? They take actions that don't get them out of debt. They do expensive habits like smoking cigarettes. Not only is that hurting your health, and then you're gonna have doctor bills, and you're gonna have co-pays and all different things, and you're buying the cigarettes, and cigarettes are such an expensive habit. Or you go buy that expensive latte every day knowing that you're in debt and you're trying to get out of it. Whereas if you acknowledge that you're in debt, or acknowledge that you're in a situation you don't want to be in, you create a plan to get out of it, and then think really positively, like, I'm going to get out of it. You're gonna take actions to get out of it. So I jotted down health is wealth, which is one of my favorite sayings ever. Anytime someone's like, I would never spend that much money on organic food, I'm like, but health is wealth. But anyway, this habit you really need to break. Absolutely, 1000%. Do it now. If you have any trouble with it, DM me. Find me on Instagram, or ask me under a picture, comment on a photo, comment on this video, here for you. But anyway, and that is give up shitty food. Just do it. I know it's not like the nicest way of putting it, like shitty food, but seriously, stop eating fast food. The GMOs, the frozen dinners, food that's not even food, like food with no nutritional value. Just, I know we can have these things in moderation. Everything in life is about balance. Maybe you never eat fast food, and then you're on a road trip, and like that whole week you do, and then you go right back to eating clean and good and healthy. Great. Understand that what I'm saying is the majority of the time. But if the majority of the time you're eating fast food, you're eating food with little to no nutritional value, you know, like eating ice cream for dinner could be an example, or Cheez-Its for lunch. What we eat, what we're putting in our body is affecting everything. And I know for me, when I eat fast food, I feel sad. I don't feel right. I'm like, wait, my body doesn't feel like I just don't feel right. A mental thing, like I don't feel as positive. I'm extremely thirsty throughout the day, and I just don't feel like me. And I think because I've spent years of eating healthy, and I used to eat fast food all the time. I used to eat Taco Bell, McDonald's, you name it. Any fast food, I used to eat it. And so because I've spent so many years not eating that food, I think that I'm really sensitive to it. And I don't even think that it tastes that good anymore. But if you had told me that years ago, if you're like, someday you're not gonna think Taco Bell quesadillas are good, I'd be like, or if you told me, guess what, you're gonna choose a green juice over McDonald's fries, I'd be like, no. But here we are, and I choose, if I'm eating on the go, I'll stop at Creation, I'll grab a green juice, or Whole Foods, they have like a little grab and go, I'll grab a chia seed pudding. Like, I'm not saying that everything has to be this home cooked meal, or even if I don't have time to cook at all and I need a good nutritional value food, I'll go to Sweetgreens and I'll get a salad or something. Don't wait to start to eat good, fresh foods. Just do it now. I want you guys to feel good, and I want you guys to feel good from within too, and eating healthy food gives you that. So my third habit that you should break is kind of a hard one, especially around the holidays, but once you do it, you do it more, and that is saving more. Jared actually brought up a good point. So if you don't know my fiance, he works in real estate. He shared a good point because he works with people all the time, and he shared this with me, and that is that if you have $50 in your savings account, it's not that motivating to save because you're like, it's just $50. I'm just gonna get a latte. It's not gonna, you know, $50 isn't going to make me a millionaire. $50 isn't gonna make or break me. If I buy a $10 latte, whatever, it's not gonna be a big deal. And looking back, when I was in college and outside of college, that's exactly how I was. Wasn't buying anything crazy. I wasn't buying designer handbags or jewelry or anything like that, but I was spending money on like things that really kind of were out of my budget, like going out with friends and buying $12 cocktails in New York City. I went to school in New York City, so things were more expensive, or buying the latte that was $8 when I had a coffee machine that me and my roommate split, so very affordable. I could have just made coffee at home, but I would go and buy that latte. And that's because, like he said, it wasn't that motivating to save when I saw that number. I'm here to say, get that out of your head. That is an excuse, and it's always better to save. And guess what? Future you will never say, oh man, you saved too much money. Even if you can only save $50, $100, guess what? Over time, that will add up. And what I've noticed is the more you're conscious of it, the more you say, okay, I'm gonna save more, the more money you make. After saving for 6 months and being consistent with it, I realized that I was more positive, I was more grateful, and I just had this freedom. Okay, I have this savings, and I felt good about myself. The more I was saving, the more opportunities were coming my way. And it goes back to what we were saying before with the scarcity mindset, that, oh, I'm gonna gain a lot of weight, and then you take action. Well, I'm just gonna eat because I'm gonna gain a lot of weight, and I'm not gonna go to the gym because it doesn't work for me. And you take all those, you say something, then you take action. The same thing goes when you're saving. When you decide, I'm going to save, you're gonna see more money is gonna come into your life. Whether it's, then you start a side hustle because you're like, wow, I really wanna get that savings up. Like, I saved this much money this month, I'm so excited about it. I wanna keep seeing that number go up. So maybe you start a side hustle, maybe you start a business, maybe you get that promotion at work. Whereas when you're not saving any money and you're just spending, you'll notice that more bills come into your life. Do you ever notice that? Like when you're just spending a lot of money, like all these unexpected bills come up and you're like, wow, this is at a really bad time. And at the end of the day, it all comes from your focus. And my camera's dying, great. So I guess we'll just end there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there's any bad habits that you want to break, comment down below what you thought about this video, what was your favorite habit, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.